Hello to everybody listening. I am here with Pille. So to
Pille.
start off,
Pille with
Pille,
E.
yeah, I'm not that good at pronouncing Estonian names yet. So to start off with, you could just explain, who you are and what do you do? What is your profession?
Yes. I'm my profession is artist. I have thought about am I designer? Am I artist? Or maybe I am applied artist? But it doesn't matter because the main thing is that I'm working and I'm dedicated to make art. I love it. So, or it is basically my education is I graduated nowadays it is Estonian Art Academy before.
So that is Eka.
Ekm, yes, I graduated, but so many years ago it has a different name. It was actually late Soviet time. So, and my profession was a leather designer. This time, everything was somehow very much connected only with the materials and with a certain profession. Nowadays, we don't feel anymore that if once you are, for example, graduated like a painter or you graduate like a ceramist, you need to continue only on this field. So in this time, it was absolutely like a rule. Nobody believed that you can continue making other things. It was somehow the system kept actually share the material to the artist. For example, leather artists got leather, ceramists got clay, and everything was a kind of an unlimited amount of material was given to the artist using the special foundation that was sharing the material. You had possibility to buy, and it was a very crazy time. At this time, I actually decided that it is interesting to make a little bit painting also and to sell paintings, and so I did both things. I made my design work, and so I made also painting, and it was very successful actually. So I was thinking that it is actually great to make whatever you want to. So you feel it is your task to say and to use special materials, and actually. After I graduated school, I felt immediately that it is something for me to do whatever I want, because I studied in art. I studied art, and I was looking for the possibilities that maybe I can learn more ceramics and so on. But all the doors were more or less closed, and the cooperation work was very complicated. So because of the system, and it was built up this way. So after I started to enjoy life, because I felt that now it is time to start working with art. And looking now, all the happy young people, they can make whatever. So, and that's why I think the flexibility and the joy, that is more important to go to and to make something you really love and you would like to make. So,
do you think this shift from being very constrained to the way education is nowadays, was that international and everywhere in the world, or was that also tied to the Soviet education system and what was possible then?
It is difficult. Maybe I don't look at this way, this education system. So you need to be more like part of the education system. So I'm not, sometimes I'm teaching if some of the students wants to, especially to have me like teacher, and we make a diploma works or graduating works together, I can be in. But I am not connected with this system to compare it this way, how big the changes are. But it's visibly, there are big changes. So it is, I hope it is totally different system. Of course, what I see, what it could be important, it is for me, for example, looking this art, like artist or designer, I love if there are some certain skills. You need to have some skills, because art is visual. And having some certain material skill or some kind of touch, special touch, what is showing that the material can be so special, so perfect. Something happens with this. This sort of art I like the most, because it is something you handle the world, and the world is in your hand with, and you can share, showing how you treat material. So if this is missing in a way in art, something is like missing for me.
So I think that goes together with what you said at the start, that you could say you're half applied artist.
Yeah,
and so as I understand, applied artist would mean that you use art, but you're creating, I guess, what you could call products also, that
yes, like a design
you can buy and that are
yes, this sort of it is big, like but the finishing this so that I feel that in a way maybe this education now, it is not maybe concentrating anymore so much to the skills. The skills are like outside a little bit, but there should be always a method how to understand what is good skill, what to use, where from to find somebody maybe who is helping you to make some special project. So it means that some skills are needful for me, looking the art. So if there is a missing something like this, you can feel that, okay, it is totally good. So then I am a little bit like sad. So sometimes it happens.
So,
not so sad. Hey, sorry.
So then, what would you describe as your, I don't know, position in art? Would you describe yourself as a contemporary artist, and as part of contemporary art, or then maybe more classical, as art as design? How do you see yourself in this sort of art? Whatever definition.
Okay, it is interesting you asked me, because I think everything is contemporary art, because design is also part of this contemporary art. For me, I can't say that it is not connected. So everything is connected. It doesn't matter. For example, I enjoy, for example, this as a painter is making something super good, and you can use it like part of the design. For example, the colors, the patterns, whatever. Everything is somehow connected. So you can, for example, I use sort of method. For example, I make exhibition work, and often the exhibition work is somehow concentration. And their ideas are concentrated. There are many ideas. So after exhibition, I start to work with this object so that I take it like step by step to the parts. This idea I can use for this design, that I can use for that design. So it means that things can be later, or something, some ideas I develop. So, and it means that the art piece I make for the exhibition, I often use to make out of these regular design objects. So, for selling objects.
So I think what comes to my mind immediately is fashion shows where, the clothes there on the stage, on the catwalk are very experimental and, no one would wear them, but they are the sort of inspiration artistic for, the actual clothes they release to the public in that season.
Yes, it
So
is.
in that sense, it's very similar.
It is somehow like this is kind of concentration of ideas which actually are influencing the design. And I use my art objects I make for exhibitions to influence my everyday design. So it means that this way, but I prefer to work with new ideas to make a special objects, like a fashion design, yes. First to the stage and then to the shelf. So this way. And about this applied art and design, of course, there is always question, what is the difference between how to separate what is design and what is applied art. So maybe applied art is something we don't use this expression anymore so much. It is somewhere in the middle. It is like a designer who is making object, probably for example, exhibition object. So, but design is something. But you see, they are somehow so much connected, so that I don't worry about this. Everything is everything is okay with this. I think everybody can decide how much you can work for the exhibitions, how much you work for the objects you are designing and the products, or sometimes but it's also like a party. Sometimes I make installations. So it can be also that it is my last installation. I invited some friends to also to participate because together it's more funny. It was 6 meters high, invisible Christmas tree in this Christmas time. It was open church presented. So I think it was also a nice experience that you mustn't be connected with your kind of common materials you use every day. You can make also steps out.
So when you're creating these pieces that would more classify as art and not, just applied art, where do you start with? Do you have an idea in mind at first that you then try to find a medium for? Or do you go from the medium and from the technique and then develop from there, some ideas?
Mm-hmm. I suggest everybody, if you can do this way, that, for example, you move from the right to left and then from the left to right and then you go straight, you can do whatever. That is the best solution for everybody. But maybe probably in the beginning you need to look what I should do. It is I remember this feeling. I graduated school and I was thinking, what's next? So it is for everybody the question, what's happened now after the school. But first you need to start to make your steps like an artist. You need to look what are your skills, what you can do, what you can make with your skills. And so step by step you feel that the life is more and more funny and everything is like fluent for you suddenly because you're working with this material. I don't suggest you don't do something if you feel that there is a kind of misunderstanding with a client, or you are pressed on so much that or the client is pressing so much on that you lose yourself. Don't do it, because there is no need. It is too much energy sometimes. I suggest you to do something and to make or to participate in the projects, or to look for something, but you feel that is the right thing and you're good in this. So, and step by step, take little risks and believe and imagine and dream. So sometimes it is very okay to go with steps to that, and so you can move wherever. You can do many things. So I have participated also in sculpture competitions and even awarded 2 times. So isn't it fantastic? Let's say you graduate like designer and suddenly you make sculptures. They are both times the second prize. Usually it is very good to be second. It means even because yeah.
So when you're creating either this object or an exhibition, do you have the audience and the viewer in mind, or is it all about the art object itself? Are you thinking, how will people perceive this? How do I show this to them? Or are you sort of thinking only about this art piece itself, and how do you sort of make it and develop it?
Depends on situation, I think. It is very important to know in what situation you are. What is going on? Maybe sometimes it is a sense of the kind of planning. So sometimes you can plan. For example, you are invited to organize something or to organize an exhibition. Sometimes I make exhibition design or organize by myself also. It means that you need to know exactly what is the situation. Is it meant for the audience? And you need to accept the audience in a way because there is no need to make some exhibitions nobody wants to see. So it means that it is like something has absolutely no attractions from anybody. So it is. I don't accept. If I make something, I love to be in the positive side of the life. I love very much. Even this kind of, even the topic can be sometimes sad or something, whatever. But there should be something like the hope in this art piece. I love this sort of works to make with a hope, to be always so, because I don't want to dig any hole to anybody, so to fall in or something. I want to lift up a life a little bit more. So it is some kind of target I have. But for example, I accept the audience. I love people. I love the people surrounding me. I love the people who come to my exhibition. I don't want to insult anybody. I'm sort of person. So I accept also opposite attitude, because sometimes it is maybe needful in art, but it is me. So for example, I make an example. For example, this invisible Christmas tree we made it so that we decided to use a material what is the most used at the present moment. We live in the moment where everything is behind the plastic, or you have this kind of plastic screens everywhere, something is covered, and we use the same plexiglass or the same material to make this Christmas tree. So, and even this plexiglass is actually a little bit like, has a negative kind of feeling now. It's too much everywhere. Everywhere is like, everything is like somehow covered. People are covered. So, this Christmas tree had a very positive feeling, kind of, because we built up a little hope in it. So, using the same material, actually, it is a little bit like has a little bit another feeling, not so positive, actually. We tried to change kind of the feeling.
Yeah, I think what you said,
material.
that plastic is everywhere, and that, sort of materials like leather and those kinds have a very maybe artisanship to them, and when you have a leather belt and its texture and so on, and for plastic something is missing there, that isn't these
yes,
other
but
maybe
plastic
materials.
is something also, for example, talking about this virus period, it is something also for protecting us. We can hide. There is a plastic screens between people. They are talking, for example, in the kind of you go to the office or to the shop or somewhere there is a hanging plastic again. So that was in this meaning. But all this material we can use. I think they have their value. Even plastic, it is man-made, and we need to know how to use this material. Everything has a right place. All the materials has a place for them, because we need to know how to use it and how much to use it. We need to decide.
I think that's a part where art can really come in and take these things in society that maybe, like plastic, and find new ways to interpret them and, how we can use them. So that's definitely...
Yes, the way. Yes, how we use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So then returning back to the audience, one of my original sort of motivations to do a podcast was both for myself and what I think would be the audience, who are, people who aren't artists, who aren't educated in art, but, still have this interest in it, but feel kind of maybe lost or don't know how to form a relationship with art. You go to exhibitions and you read the paper and you try to make sense of it and it still doesn't make sense, and you look at it and want to understand it, but it's hard. So what would you give as advice or ways for these people to, find how to interpret art, how to understand it better, just for themselves, not as critics?
Yes.
So maybe also relevant is maybe how you yourself got into art, when you were younger, before that was your career.
Yes. In school time, we had teachers, and they were often sent us to the exhibitions to look them. But you see, I look at it this way. Art is also conversation. For example, if two friends are talking with each other and the third one is coming, is it possible to understand everything what is going on? You need to take a little time to listen and to look what is going on. So, because it is sometimes it takes more time, sometimes less. So it depends on how much information you have before what they are talking about, what is going on. So you have more information, you know your friends, you know what they are talking about, you know this kind of story or whatever they are telling there together. So it is easier to understand it. But first, to step in, isn't it fantastic just to go to the art place, the galleries, to the museums, and to start to look what is going on. So to start to learn this language. Visual language is actually important for everyone. You accept it or you don't accept it, but step by step you need to learn. The more you learn it, the more you understand that actually everything is visually also. Visual kind of situation. It shows so many things. Once I walked on a very narrow street, I think in the old town, and there was a kind of couple, grandfather and a grandson. They were walking together and they were talking. I think the boy was something like maybe 6 years old and the grandfather over 60. And they were talking about people. There were coming people passing by and they were analyzing who is this, how they clothes, what is a visual kind of, information you can see immediately and looking it. So it was very interesting. I was very surprised that somebody can can look the kind of surrounding this way. But open your eyes. It is the visual information is everywhere. And now, maybe in art, the visual information is more complicated. It is connected with these kind of symbols more. But there is always in the museums, exhibitions, explanation to you how to understand it. That's why everything is actually very interesting. It is like a conversation with somebody you would like to talk, but obviously it is like a book. Read a book. It is also like a conversation with somebody else. So the exhibition is talking in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe more or less understandable.
Well, I think it is to sort of maybe continue that. What would you say is a good member of the audience? When you make an exhibition, what are the people that you would like to come there? What their mindset should be like, and what it is that you maybe would want them to learn. So, for example, you said that your exhibitions are sort of experiments in maybe this design that lets you figure out new ways to create more utilitarian products. And then for the audience, is the exhibition to appreciate the regular products more, or also maybe take them in some more deep areas of, their consciousness?
I suggest everyone to keep going on the conversation with galleries, museums, and artists, and all kind of arts, because art is everywhere. So not only, for example, look at the food. It can be art, and it can be also not so much art. Music. I feel it is somehow, if you once start to understand, for example, music, you can understand the connection, how it is connected. The same method is used in all the arts. The same philosophy, because we are living in contemporary time and in the present time. And actually this pattern is very, very much understandable, why the modern music is like that, why it sounds like this, and why the art is developing to this direction. Because you see, we have sometimes questioned, do we need art at all? So of course we need. It is what to do with the science and all this fantastic new experimentations, new machinery, even laptop, for example, looking and telephone, everything is designed. Somebody has made decisions, how big it is, how comfortable it is. It is a big operation work, actually. So with a scientist, with the artist, it means that it is like impossible to live without this kind of design. And of course this maybe fine art we can separate, and fine art is working more with the philosophy of the time. So it is and exhibition project, it is pointing to the nowadays problems and what we need to solve. And it is very interesting, actually. Once you go to the museums, exhibitions, I think it is you suddenly you can see that you have talked with a friend or something looking this.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very interesting that you mentioned music as a comparison, because with Kaspars, another guest, also an artist, when explaining how to, understand art, he also mentioned music. So there's definitely something there. And for me, also, when I listen to a song, I don't ask myself or demand from the song, what does this song mean? Step by step, what are the themes, and so on and so on. You just listen to it and understand how it makes you feel. And
Yes.
what sort of neurons it activates in you. So I think that's a very similar approach that one should take
And
to art as well.
sometimes you don't like something. Oh, okay, it is not my song, and it is the same way. It is not my exhibition. So, or it is exactly my song. It is a music. And in the exhibition, the same. You never want to leave there. you want to stay there forever. It is the same thing can happen. And it is connected. It is dance. It is all kind of art. It is everything what is surrounding. Movies, everything. All the visual art, the photography, everything. It's very interesting, actually, that the connection is obvious, and it is interesting for me. I have not thought about. Now I started to think about. You told me the music and this connection also important to the others. I've talked about this, but for me, it's interesting that how far it goes, because it is connected with, I said, food, everything, how far you can go that is good, very good skill. It is connected always with somehow with the art. In Estonia, the language, we have the word for the art is kunst. And all the skills, actually, if you have already some skill, you can see in the language that they use it like kunst. It can be also ehituskunst. It is a building art. Everything is like kunst. If you can do something very, very well, better than ordinary, result is always kunst, art. It means that we are all on the way to go on the art way. We are stepping because we have everybody has skills. So it means that in a short moment, everybody is an artist, or they are communicating in everyday life with art.
So, as I understand, there's a lot of exhibitions that you sort of organize yourself. But what has your experience been like? In outside of that, in this contemporary art industry, if you could say, with galleries and curators. Do you think it's in a good state, or maybe there's not enough support for artists, or too much focus on collectors or something like that? How do you view this industry? Do you think it's in a good place right now for artists?
It is 50-50, I think. It's definitely always there are artists who don't like this situation. Because, of course, the galleries, they are selecting, they would like to work with people who are dedicated, make everything in time, and there is a kind of, value, what they see. It is always depends on the curator also. Who is a curator and who is working for the gallery. It is a group who is actually producing some kind of a nice program. They should do it. It is their life, and they do it in a professional way. So it means that there are always artists who don't like, because they want to make a sort of revolution. So. And they want to make other things. I think, why not make other things? I'm not pressing myself so much that I don't have this target to go to this, to make exhibition in this or that gallery. It is just special. If I like to make something, then I go and make. I love very much places, for example, very special places. If I love this place and I feel that I have connection with this, I would like to make some kind of object, or I would like to participate there. If I feel I don't need especially gallery for that. So it is, of course, a little bit more complicated way to work. But in gallery, actually, everything is made for the artist. Isn't it pleasant? It's super. Somebody is looking after the exhibition design. Everything is organized. It is two different kind of ways to communicate with audience and to live your life. I think the both are working very nicely, both systems. So they definitely, for example, thinking about these art museums and what work they do, it is very professional. I like it. You can go there and there is always something very, very nice to look. So
one thing is that, well, this project as a whole is being done in collaboration with EKKM, and we've sort of learned a lot about art from them. And have you worked with them, or do you have any opinions about that museum or experience?
I love this museum, but I have not worked, as I'm more like designer. I have worked I have concentrated more to the design, and sometimes I make something else. So it means that I haven't worked with them, but I have actually somebody who is looking very carefully what is going on there, because it is interesting. Very, very interesting what they have done, and all these rooms and everything is very, very nice. It is, I think I love this EKKM very much. All this process and all this, they started, it was very much different from this what they are now. And, but definitely I need to say, I go to the exhibition. And sometimes I look the exhibition. So this way, I start this way. Okay, I like this exhibition. I don't like this exhibition so much, or this maybe it is not my my story here, what I belong to. So, but what I love to look the curator's work, because it is in a way very much visible how the curator managed with this project also, because in the museums you can see it is organized, and sometimes it is so that I say, wow, I like it. So it is something, for example, if you are an artist and you are making different places, you don't have maybe energy and maybe also this so much experience, make this very nice, extremely super curator work. So, but sometimes I have seen in Estonia. So, wow, I'm very happy to see. I love to go somewhere and look, okay, it is a museum gallery and exhibition design is super. Everything is organized. Go to Kumu, EKKM, everything is this way. I like it. So it means that, but, it is a way how I look exhibition. Maybe these people who are not so experienced exhibition visitors, they need to take your time. It is not the most important to look it. You will see it soon. Go to the exhibitions, look. So, and I like the EKKM, this certain freedom and this way how they are communicating with this audience, and the way how it's one of the favorite house I have seen actually. All this tilted room, and you can go to the roof, and there is like everything actually. There is a great possibilities, so to make many good exhibitions there.
Mm-hmm. This is something that just came to my mind as an idea. When I was talking with Martin, the current director, what he mentioned was how a lot of exhibitions, it's not just about the works that are there, but it's also about the spectacle and the event, with the people that come there, and maybe there's a speech, maybe there's wine, and people are talking. In your experience, when you do your exhibitions and you have an opening, something like that, what is that, how do you feel in those days? Is it like a birthday where you finally, or maybe something else, seeing that hard work pay off?
Okay, I think it is the birthday is in the very end, not in the beginning, because this result you can see of the exhibition, you can see in the very end how the audience like it, and the reflections, everything. And so for me, the birthday is in the end of the exhibition.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So then I just had some little bit of audio issues there. But yeah, so returning back to what I said about this current scene as it is, what do you feel like is maybe missing, or what would you like to see more in the art scene? Is it new types of museums? Is it, I don't know, maybe more museums like AKKM, or I've run out of examples, but maybe you could say, what do you wish for in the future to happen more in the art field, that you think would be positive?
So I don't, of course I know the situation of Ekm has been that they have closed down, and so they open again, and so I'm very sad of all this situation, that I understand that this place is very for this kind of developers, a kind of sugar piece. So, and maybe there mustn't be mustn't be this museum and so on. I understand these kind of people who are looking differently, but I like this.
Yeah, but I mean also outside of.
I don't.
I also mean outside of AKKM, just also in general. What would you like to see?
Yes. I didn't think about this. I think this life here is developing nicely, and now we have in this situation where the most of the museums are closed with today. So I am looking life like a process, and the life is moving now to a certain direction. I can't say that I see it exactly, like what will happen and what other people needs, but probably people need something for the soul more. I am looking with a big interest at what is happening now. So I don't know. I think it is yes. But that question is to me something what I need to think about. It takes me time to think about what could be the future. It is everything what I know and I see now. I see this in a certain balance. So we were missing this sort of museum like EKM, and it appeared. And I'm very happy that, and it is a little bit different. Now there are another centers are coming, maybe new galleries. Let's look. I'm very curious what will happen. I'm open for everything.
So, from an outsider perspective on the same question, maybe, what do you feel like is a way for people who aren't artists or aren't, professionally involved in the art field? What is a way that they can support it? Is it, just go and buy artworks? Is it, get all of your friends to come to galleries? What is it that you'd like people to do? I guess, if someone's listening and they're like, how do I support artists better? What do you think are the best things they can do?
Of course, if they support whatever we buy, whatever we support, we give the possibility to continue this kind of living style or some kind of art, design, whatever. So it means, of course, everybody need to decide, but if you don't go to the exhibitions, then it is very easy to say that I can make this spot on the canvas by myself. So it is something what I have heard sometimes that people in the exhibitions or something, children groups, and so I can make it by myself. So, and that is I love this sentence, I can make it by myself. So I always say to this, somebody who is saying it, that is a great start for the art education, because you never must think about, I can make it by myself, the same spot, because it is already done. You need to think, I would like to make it this way, different. Because it should be this way. You need to believe that it should be this way, like you believe, or you have imagination immediately. That is the first step you do to the art direction. And of course, the first step also to make to the art direction is to support it, to understand it, to go and to look what is the kind of local artists are making, or what is going on in the art in the world. So because can I talk about one? Because sometimes very good art and design, it influences also the producers. Once I wanted to buy myself a couch, and I saw a very good couch in a shop, and I thought that it is good, but something was missing for my eye. And I started to look the original, and I found this original, but it was much better. But I saw that there was a big influence from this original piece. Of course, this reworked piece for the kind of regular user, it was this couch was less price and everything, but I collected several months my money to buy this couch because I wanted to have original, and I was very happy that I found this. And it was the world's best couch I have ever had. So it means that there are many copies made of these good design objects, and but it is isn't it fun to know where are the roots? Everybody is looking where they are drawing the family tree, and so they make many things. So why not to make a little kind of question? What is actually behind? You go, and what is the background of this kind of simple thing? For example, simple chair, and suddenly you can see already that okay, that is the most copied chair what is made in the world. So, and why not to have a little education? It is a history. It is a nice story actually.
I think it goes together with what you said at the very beginning, that, even iPhones have art in them, their design. And, probably the designers that work at Apple or Steve Jobs had their influences from artists, that maybe make these just brush on a white canvas. So I think we've had a very good...
I want to tell you one story,
Yes?
more story. I was a student and I was hitchhiking. So, and there was a kind of, I think it's a kind of men working in the forest, was sitting in the bus. They picked me up. So, and they looked, who are you? I said, I study art in the art academy or in so institution. Oh, what you are doing? Are you painting? So okay. And if you know something about paint, I want to paint my car orange. How can I do it? So I said, I had a watercolor with, and I showed. I take a little bit red and I take a little bit yellow and now orange. Oh, can't be so fantastic. And he said, okay, you are a painter. I said, no, I'm not painter. I'm designer. I'm a applied artist. What it means. So I was thinking that, dear God, how to explain it? And so I was looking his shirt. So said, you see, here are stripes. Okay, yes, here are stripes. And so what? Do you think how the stripes are decided so to be here? So on your shirt. So he said, okay, I bought it from the shop. I said, the shop is not designing it. It should be in the factory. And the factory is an artist who decides what is a rhythm, what are the colors of the shirt, and what of the stripes of the shirt. So it means that it is, and I looked his face. He was looking me kind of that I opened him a big, big door. The childhood was over. So you see, it was like he was living in the kind of life where everything is like coming from because mother gives or something from the shop and everything. So now analyzing, because he didn't have need for that. And it was for him, he was learning like hell. So it was so quick. He understood everything. He started to look around everything. What is going on? And asking me so many questions. So, and was so interested. So I looked this art education or this kind of education. For example, in this school, it was a problematic probably. And so we need to look also that in the schools, the art education is also kept so that it is not only that kind of to make the same spot, but to make your own spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a very good story, and about art and design as art. And I think we've had a very pleasant conversation, and maybe there's anything left that you thought about before we talk that you'd like to say, or any closing words?
Go to the museums, go to the galleries, look around and look your friends, and think about this. Everything is visual. Where you open your eyes in the morning, and you can see many things. So it means that everything you see, it is somehow created. Or it is created by the kind of creator, or by somebody else. So it means that there is always like something behind, and it is coming from the good skills. We try to have the best skills and support the best skills.
Mm-hmm.
Finished.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for listening, and goodbye.